And when we were talking about the history of Sean Combs, and he went through all the iterations, Diddy and Puffy and P. Diddy, and really grew to this, and a global icon in not only the hip hop world, but the branding with the Ciroc vodka and the Sean John clothing line. So now this verdict and this trial is changing everything. And the question is, how's it going to change his career?
Yeah, you know, Diddy has helped so many people in the music career. We could go by a long list of, you know, all of the people he's impacted. But is this part of his life over? We have entertainment reporter Joelle Garguilo joining us now with more on how of all of this is going to impact his career.
Yes.
You know, but first of all, he's helped so many people in this career, but did you see any of them in the courtroom?
That's what we were talking about at our desks today too, right? When you think about the hundreds of artists that Diddy has worked with over the years who showed up in court. They didn't show up in court, right? But I want to take a step back for a second. If you think about a generation of us, like this is the MTV generation who grew up with Diddy. There was nobody bigger at the time. We call him a mogul. We talk to moguls, but there weren't moguls in that way, the way that it was with Diddy. He was the first to do that in the industry, right? So we were all there for the rise. And last year it all came to a head. We watched the fall play out in the headlines. And the question now is, what is next?
Yo, I thought I told you that we won't stop.
For a time, Sean Diddy Combs was larger than life.
What y'all want to do?
He was a mogul beyond music, one who built a reported billion-dollar net worth. From Harlem to the heights of hip-hop, throughout the decades, we watched his rise.
How you living, Biggie?
From discovering Biggie,
it was all a dream,
to founding Bad Boy Records, shaping the careers of artists like Mary J. Blige, launching Sean John clothing line, executive producing Making the Band.
Check the record.
At the time, his impact on hip-hop was seismic.
I mean, the impact was massive. This is one of the defining influencers of the look, the sound, the way that we did hip-hop, the way that we marketed it, the way that it looked as far as videos. Man, he's a massive figure.
Torre, a longtime music journalist and host of Truth Talks, points out amid the success, there were troubles.
Over 30 years, we have always talked about Puff always gets away. There was CCNY, there was Club New York, there was the death of his most important record artist, there was the collapse of the music business, and yet and still, he kept getting away and getting away, and this was the highest and hardest hurdle for him. And we thought he wouldn't get away, and he got away again.
So you are viewing the verdict as him getting away?
Absolutely.
The question now, with Combs found guilty on 2 of 5 charges, what happens next?
This moment when you and I are talking, we don't know what his sentence will be. But when you think about his career, where does Diddy go from here?
Let's put it like this. Puff has helped hundreds of people become stars. How many of them came to see him during the trial? Not one. You know, we're talking about enjoy your children, enjoy being able to walk where you want. That's the win. He doesn't have to go back to the music business and be that guy again. He hasn't been that guy in a long time. Just being free is the victory, and he's almost certainly going to get that.
It was a really interesting take. I thought that Torre had on that. But even when you talk about the music, everyone's like, what's next? What's next? Who's going to work with him? We haven't really gotten new music from Diddy, right? I mean, he released an album in 2023, but when was the last time we had original music? Like that chapter of his life, you know, it's the old catalog. So there's that, and I really do think
the publishing that came in then, but there is nothing to substitute that.
No, but I think that making it right, like I always ask people, what does making it look like? I think now it's about making it right. Making it right. I think that's the only making it he's going to really be having to deal with.
And a lot of people knew him from the Making the Band, which was on MTV.
Again, we were talking about that. You know, if you are a New Yorker, you remember when Making the Band was on, you remember him having everybody walk over the Brooklyn Bridge to get to Junior's, to get the cheesecake from Junior's, before there was one in Midtown. You know, but we remember those things. Did he run the city when he did the marathon? He had the key to the city, which later got taken away.
He was a purveyor of culture.
Yes.
Of music, of fashion. He was able to hobnob even with politicians. I mean, his reach turned global, and he actually brought hip hop to the global stage.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, we say what's next. The truth is, I don't know. I don't know, but I will be watching all of you to find out is what I will be doing, because I'm still trying to figure it out.
Well,
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.